I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition.
That was an interview President Obama did back in 2009. It's now part of a new campaign being run against him by the RNC. But the ad comes as polls show that Obama is still ahead of the GOP candidates. So joining us now to take a closer look, RNC Communications Director Sean Spicer and former DCCC spokesperson Doug Thornell. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
Sean, you're smiling. I know that you like the ad. I mean, are you wanting to close on that promise the president made?
I think his words speak for themselves. He said if he didn't have the job done in 3 years, it was a one-term proposition. I'd like to hold Barack Obama to his own standard and wish him well going forward, because I think we're going to put a Republican back in the White House based on his failed record.
All right, but Doug, this week an improvement in unemployment numbers, somewhat unexpected. I mean, it's not a great number, but at least it's moving in the right direction.
Well, over 200,000 jobs the last month. The unemployment rate has dropped over the last 5 months, 4 million jobs, close to 4 million jobs over the last year and a half. That's much better than what the president inherited from the last administration. And I don't think the American people want to go back to the failed policies of the past, where you saw an economic crisis cause, result in a major Bush bailout, and you also had people looking for jobs. Manufacturing was hurt. I don't think people want to go back to that time. So the numbers, I think, both economically and also if you look at the polling, the president is doing well head-to-head and in key battleground states. So, I'm feeling pretty good about the president right now.
Are your candidates, whoever the eventual nominee is, they're going to take the country backwards?
Oh, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I think a couple quick points on the polling. Gallup came out with 50 state polling this week. 47 of those states, the president has gone backwards. In the 3 that he has done, there are only 3 states where he's actually improved, and some of them aren't that good. And overall, of the 50 states, only in 10 of them is he above 50%. So the polling doesn't bear out that. Second, on the economy and on his record, he's added $4.5 trillion to the debt. Gas prices are through the roof. Healthcare costs are up. Grocery costs are up. And when you ask people in terms of, is this country on the right track or the wrong track, 70 to 80% of them say we're on the wrong track. So that is not a record to run on.
Well, if you actually look at polling in Florida, he's beating Mitt by 10 points. He's beating Mitt in his own background of New Hampshire by 10 points, in Ohio. And if you look at economic indicators across the board, the president is in a much better position now than where he started. We had a great day on Friday in Wall Street and stocks. And so I think that when people, again, compare his record to whether or not they want to go back to the failed policies of the past, I think the president is going to be in good shape.
I want to play a little bit of his remarks at the prayer breakfast, national prayer breakfast that he had this week. Let's take a listen to those.
But for me as a Christian, it also coincides with Jesus' teaching that for unto whom much is given, much shall be required.
Sean, it's no secret that religious voters are very important in any national presidential election. There were some who thought that the president's speech was a little bit more political than they expected for a prayer breakfast. But how do you think religion may play?
Well, I think there's 2 things. On his comments alone, the top 1% of this of wage earners in this country pay 40% of all the federal income taxes. The top 10% pay 70% of all federal income taxes. So his Bible verse is accurate. The rich are paying not only their fair share, but plenty of it. Second, in terms of his attempts to reach out to the religious community, this morning in church, the pastor read a letter from the Bishop of Virginia talking about this administration's attack on religious freedom and the First Amendment. So he has a problem with religious leaders, especially in the Catholic Church, and I would argue throughout all serious religions, whether it's Judaism or Christian, this administration has had a full-on assault on religion, and he's got a major problem with folks that's a core reason to vote.
And Doug, how does this administration respond to those charges?
I mean, that's absolutely nonsense. There is no full-on attack on religion. That's crazy. I think the president has reached out to all religions, whether it's Christianity, Judaism. He's been very open. The White House has embraced many faith leaders. I think the Republicans are actually worried that the 2 candidates that they're running right now may have a problem with faith leaders themselves if they end up being the nominee. I mean, you have Newt Gingrich, who I think may have some problems with value voters. And again, Mitt Romney may have a problem too with evangelical voters. I think this is about them trying to attack the president now before the general. So I think it's just crazy to say that he's been attacking religious leaders. That's nonsense.
But again, just to be clear, that's not what we're saying. That's what every bishop in America says. So it's not what the Republicans are saying about this administration.
Every bishop in America? Come on.
Every Catholic bishop, absolutely. Every Catholic bishop has read a letter to their congregation telling them about this administration's attack on
You're talking about the
religious
contraceptive issue.
I'm talking about the Catholic churches, the
Catholic
attack.
bishops actually, I mean, if you look at some of the policies that we passed, they were actually, the Catholic Church was actually was pretty supportive of the health care reform bill.
That's certainly a key constituency that you know is going to have to be persuaded one way or the other when it comes to November. So we'll see how it plays out. Sean, Doug, great to see you both. Thank you for coming in.
Go Patriots.
Thanks a lot.
Oh no,
Go Redskins.
Sadly, the Redskins will not be in the Super Bowl this year.